Hey guys, it's Steve, Hobo with Wood, coming at you from the shop today. We're going to be cutting a piece of 14 by 14 black acrylic, 2.5 millimeters thick, 14 by 14 black acrylic that I got off of Amazon. We're going to be creating a monogram. But today's burn and test is to see, remove the paper before you cut or remove the paper after you cut. Now I've done one before that I removed it prior to cutting. This and I'm leaving the paper on and see which one do I get the better result, what am I happiest with. So I've got the acrylic on the laser bed. Let's jump in here and get to cutting. Okay, I've got the acrylic on the work bed. She's framed and I have her secured on two opposing corners. Framing, taking your time to frame when you're going to do a large piece. This is a 14 by 14 piece of acrylic and it's going to consume the entire thing. It's a large monogram. Take your time, frame, and then frame again, and then frame a third time. Make sure you got that thing centered. You don't want to waste a large piece because you had it misaligned. But even more importantly, when you're doing a large burn or large cut with acrylic, one of the biggest pieces of advice I could give you is you really need to have an enclosure, because this stinks to high heaven. And I even have some concern about the gases that are being emitted from the cutting of the acrylic. So I've got the ComGrow soft enclosure. Has a flip down lid, zips up closed, and the enclosure is the orange in color, so it's safety for your laser. You can watch through the cover while it's engraving. It is the ComGrow soft enclosure. It fully encompasses my xTool. And then I rigged up a ventilation system here with a 4-inch inline fan that I then ducted to go out my window. This is, well, it might very literally be a lifesaver depending on what the gases are. So if you're doing acrylic, the ComGrow soft enclosure really is a must-have. If not the ComGrow, then somebody's. I'll put a link to this down below in the description. I am an affiliate with ComGrow, and so when you click and buy from this link, I do get a little something, supposedly. Hadn't seen it happen yet, so you might be my first. But if you're doing acrylic, put this enclosure on. I do not use this 100% of the time, but I do use it 100% of the time when I'm doing acrylic. So let's get this burn started and create a monogram. Okay, so this is the cut that I'm doing in the acrylic right now, and like I say, she's 14 by 14, give or take. So an hour and a half later, that job is complete. Everything looks good. Now, one thing I did differently on this one than I did the first piece I designed and cut, this time I left the backing material on both sides of the acrylic during the entire cut process. Okay, so that turned out well. Cleanup was, or not cleanup, but removing the backing paper is a little bit more tedious after it's been cut because there's so many pieces. But leaving the backing paper on during the cut process for me does seem to be the right decision and the best way to approach it, because there's less cleanup on the acrylic from any soot or burn marks. But the ComGrow soft enclosure is a must-have if you're going to be cutting acrylic, because this was an hour and a half burn, and I'm sitting this close to the laser, and the gassing off of the laser cutting the acrylic is horrendous and probably potentially hazardous and or dangerous and or lethal. So I'll put that enclosure, a link to the enclosure, in the description. All right, guys, so that was a pretty successful project. Paper on is, my opinion, the way to go. And if you're doing acrylic, if you don't have the ComGrow, you need an enclosure. It makes all the difference in the world. I'll put links to everything we talked about in the description. The cut on this was on 2.5 millimeter thick black acrylic. I got that off of Amazon. The settings, speed and power, it was done at 3 millimeters a second, 100% power, and 3 passes. So 3 millimeters a second, 100% power, 3 passes, 2.5 millimeter thick black acrylic, nice clean cut with no burning or melting. Turned out really nice. Paper on for easy cleanup, a little more time consuming removal, but you got a better finished product. So this has been Steve, Hobo with Wood. I appreciate all my subscribers. Anybody that's not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It's right there. I see it. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for notifications. If you don't want the notifications and the alerts for the new videos, just hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. So, see you in the next video. This is Steve. I'm out.